Hi, everyone. As many of you are aware, I was trying to use Flowwise to build agentic AI tools and systems. And I went down a bit of a rabbit hole trying to figure all this out and ended up running into a lot of roadblocks. It was frustrating to say the least. I had to step away, go on a run, rethink the problem, and come back to it with a fresh thought process in mind. What I found was much better though. So there's a technology called N8N, or an open source software that you can clone in your repository to bring in and then build out automated workflows across a given action. And it is extremely powerful. It's going to change the way work is done. And these agent models these frameworks are going to continue to grow. When you think about the investment that's being made into them, how they're automating and improving the API calls against them, it's really wild and transformative. I was talking with somebody about this earlier, and they said it's going to be as easy as sending an email in the future as building an AI agent to automate given processes. And that's where we are today. It's rapidly evolving, and it's more and more approachable for folks to really begin to use these tools and software. So right now I'm showing you I want to quickly go over what that looks like to give you a taste of how these workflows can work. Um, but it's not going to be super refined. There's a lot more to dig into this. I'm just hitting the tip of the iceberg, and I plan on spending many more hours, months, and days, or days and months to look into this and start to peel away the layers and understand how this technology can be used in practice. So right now I'm on the GitHub repository. GitHub's a site in which sort of a community that puts code out. Individuals can work on it together. And when you hear the term open source, it means that anybody can sort of grab these inputs. So N8N is an open source software. Different videos will say, hey, you can go to this, sign up for my account, et cetera, et cetera. You don't have to do that. All you need is a Python terminal. You need to clone the repository and then download the appropriate software, and then you can run it locally on your machine. So what that looks like here is my Python repository. You can see I cloned the repository here with my git clone. I downloaded and then ran it through npx, and then really just called the terminal, and it's running locally off of my machine. And if any of that doesn't make sense, if you scroll down, they tell you exactly how to do this in the resources here. It doesn't tell you how to clone it, but you can use GPT or just experience in this area on how to clone that would be easy enough. So after you run it, the only other caveat is that you have to have JavaScript. So you can go to this Node.js. It's all in the code repo or the GitHub repository, and then tells you exactly what you need. But just download it. Make sure you have the right version of Node.js. I downloaded the wrong version initially, and I didn't understand until I looked at the errors what was going on. So definitely consider that. Then once you run it, you can call it forward. There's a lot of documentation here, but you call it forward in your localhost. So you just type in that localhost 5678, and it'll open it up. This is the repo that we'll talk about, sort of the workflow that we built. Building this is super simple. You can start with your first workflow. It's going to pretty much give you a lot of the basic elements, and then you've got to manipulate them to tell what you want. In a brief overview, what this is doing is you send a chat message here like you would in ChatGPT. That triggers an agent to look into the quote unquote database that we built. I just use Google Sheets as the database, the example of the database, which houses transportation, storage, and production data. Additionally, I gave it access to a calculator because I was noticing that it would pull the right information, but it wouldn't actually calculate the outputs correctly. So it has that as a tool. After it pulls information, it's supposed to use a calculator to sum up the total values. And ultimately, I use OpenAI's model as the key in for that. So when I look at OpenAI's model, you can there's ChatGPT, and then there's sort of OpenAI's platform where you can grab an API and then connect it to use for things like this. So really expanding beyond the ChatGPT window and actually looking at your company's data, giving it tools and other APIs to perform an action after it finds it. And then also you can put the human in the loop. You can connect this directly to your email. When you get an email, then you can have it provide a response, and then it could come to you to say, hey, do you want to send this, yes or no? And then you would click yes, and it would actually finish that transaction, which is incredible, insanely useful. They have a lot of different nodes you can choose. I'm still exploring all these, so I don't really want to talk on them too well because I'm not positive entirely on how everything works inside that quite yet. And then additionally, like I said, I connected it to the Google Sheets. When you click inside one of these nodes, you can see I'm just pointed to that proper API. I previously set that credential up to then grab the Google Sheet that I have on file, which is transportation data from the list transportation. So like a tab in your transportation data. And then finally, if you hit execute step, it's going to index all those rows of data, and you can sort of see, starting with 0, what was in the header, what it said. And I did that across all 3 data elements. It has a simple sort of by use memory. You can set that up as like a SQL database as well. Had a little bit more time. I did this pretty quickly to store more memories and then build even a larger interface around it. So the sky's really the limit. This is pretty simple look, but it's so powerful. So let's go ahead and ask it a question. So I have my storage inventory here, and just to show you first, let's go ahead and say we want to know what our inventory level is for widget B, right? We come over here. I'll zoom in so you can see it, sorry. So you can see your current quantity inventory is here, and we see 11,877. And that's directly from our database. ChatGPT itself doesn't know that, but we have that in our system database. We can ask it, what is the, and we'll see if we can zoom in here any further. What is the inventory for, what did I say, widget B? And you'll see it's thinking, it went to the agent, it went to the storage data, it came back to OpenAI's model, and hopefully, I might have to rephrase my question, what is the total inventory, so it knows to calculate it properly. No, it did it properly, 11,877. So let's say you want to understand what your top moving items are. So perform a Pareto analysis against all my inventory. And hopefully I spelled that properly. You can see what it did. It went to the calculator, it went to the storage data, and then it went to that. Was the results of the top, what do I have them listed as? Of the top item names. And I know there's a lot of really great videos out there that show this in greater detail. I was just excited, wanted to show it, and working with it. I think actually using these tools is the best way to begin to understand their full capability. So then we can start to see the different inventories. We would want to check that to make sure that that's still 100% accurate. Thank you for letting me share this information and begin to show you agents in action. Probably foreign to most folks on this call, but this is how easy it is becoming to work with agents and automate given processes. If you want to have more of a discussion on it, reach out. Let's chat on agents and understand other opportunities for these sorts of amazing tools. Thank you.